Donald Trump has won the US elections. What does this mean for Malaysia? I won't claim to be an expert on US elections, but I have some experience in this regard. You see, I was serving as the Deputy Chief of Mission at the Malaysian Embassy when President Obama won the presidential elections. I shall touch on three different areas. Number one, bilateral relations. Number two, economics. Number three, geopolitics. First, bilateral relations. President Donald Trump is expected to be a more isolationist president. He is doing so because his worldview is about making America great again. His focus is towards his own country, bringing industries back and making it strong and so on and so forth. So this is going to have a direct impact on the way bilateral relations are conducted. This does not affect only Malaysia. In fact, every country will have to grapple with these changes. Even America too will have to grapple with these changes. America has not been isolationist for over 70 years now. Yes, it is true we have had some experience with Trump 4 years ago, but Trump too is expected to be more isolationist, and this will require adjustments on everybody's part. The State Department, the other officials in the American administration will also have to grapple with how to deal with these new demands. The way to deal with it is just two ways. We have to have open communication. It is not all about America talking down to Malaysia, because Malaysia is an independent country. It will certainly make its views felt. So it has to be a two-way communication. Recently, Malaysia and America concluded strategic senior official dialogue. This is one way communications can be kept open, and I believe that in the next few years, both countries will have to work hard to keep that particular channel open. Besides communications at the officials level, countries can also look at bilateral visits. It may be quite difficult to arrange for presidential visits or prime ministerial visits, but certainly there is room to look at visits from the ministers, foreign ministers, or any other ministers. This is one way that bilateral relations can be kept on a reasonably even keel by both sides, because after all, both America and Malaysia know that they need each other. It is not a one-way traffic. So, as usual, there will be a range of issues that both countries will have to talk about. I imagine issues relating to Malaysia's relationship with China, its desire to join BRICS, perhaps, for example, or how Malaysia intends to use its chairmanship of ASEAN, or even other matters like labor practices and so on and so forth, may be open for discussion. On the defense side, I do not see major changes taking place because this is a very old relationship and a steady relationship at that. So I think bilaterally defense relations will continue largely as usual. But there could be some turbulence in terms of trade. As I said, since America is now beginning to look inwards, it is expected to pursue more isolationist policies, perhaps tariffs. It is possible that Malaysia could face pressure on its exports to America, particularly where it involves components that are sourced from China, for example. America might impose tariffs not only on finished products from China, but also products that contain inputs from Chinese sources. So that could cause some complication. But as one economic expert told me recently, all trade with America is going to be about renegotiation. So Malaysia should be prepared to have more talks with America. It is just not manufacturing products like electronic chips, for example. It could also involve other kinds of products like palm oil, perhaps, or any other types of products on a whole range of concerns relating to environmental concerns, relating to labor practices, and so on and so forth. It's not going to be all doom and gloom. Both countries need each other. I cannot underestimate this point. Cumulatively, America is the biggest investor in this country. They have been present for a very long time. American companies know Malaysia very well. I do not see that this relationship is going to change overnight, because there will be also pushback from these American companies as well. But as I said, Malaysia could face challenges in all these areas, because there are going to be changes that has to be made, and Malaysia will have to be prepared to look at them. And geopolitics is where I think the biggest challenges are going to be. Let us look at some of those challenges. Number one, balancing US-China rivalry. Well, next year Malaysia will be the chair of ASEAN. It will have to manage this rivalry between these two superpowers, but this is going to be made much more difficult because Malaysia has also expressed interest to be a member of BRICS. Well, it has not yet become a member of BRICS, but it has been admitted as a partner country in this alliance. Luckily, Malaysia is not the only country that is in BRICS. Other major economic powers of ASEAN are also in it. So Malaysia should try to take advantage of this to effectively balance or manage this rivalry between the two major powers. But I must say, this is not going to be easy. It's going to require a lot of diplomatic, skill. And the ASEAN chairmanship itself poses a certain challenge. All ASEAN chair would like to see a full participation of all the dialogue partners in their summits. I am not too sure whether President Trump would attend the summit in Kuala Lumpur. So Malaysia should be prepared to have the summit without the participation of the American president. Well, it's not the end of the world, but it is something that Malaysia will have to foresee and adjust accordingly. On the positive side, we might see a quick end to the war in Europe. President Trump has said that he would stop the war in his very first few days in office. And I have no doubt that he would try very hard to do so, because his interest is disengaging America from all these entanglements overseas. On the South China Sea, relations with China, the Taiwan issue, etc., I think it's going to be more or less the same as with any other US administration, except that in the case of the Trump administration, it is possible that the US may be less willing to engage with China over the Taiwan issue, for example. So there could be some possible easing of tensions. And Mr. Trump is a man who is known to make deals. So it is entirely possible that America might try to reach out to China to perhaps iron out some kind of a deal over South China Sea and Taiwan. I won't count on it, but I will not rule it out either. The situation in the Middle East would be an issue of concern. But what will it look like under the Trump administration? Frankly, I do not see how things would become very positive in this part of the world. Mr. Trump has been supportive of Israel, including Israel's intention to wage a war against Iran. But all that could be rhetorical stances. After all, if Mr. Trump intends to make America great again, engaging with more trouble in the Middle East would go against what he has promised. So it is possible that we could see some kind of move towards ending the war in Gaza in one way or the other. What is the conclusion? I can say that we are going to be in for a bumpy ride, but it is not, like I said, end of the world. Both countries know that they need each other, they have to live with each other, they have to work with each other. It is important that diplomatic engagement continues to be open on both sides. Wisma Putra will have to play its part. State Department will have to play its part as well. There you are. As I promised, these are some of my initial thoughts. But I'm sure you have a lot to say too. I would love to hear your comments. Put your comments down below. And if you liked this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you very much.